David Miller had spent the last 8 years raising his daughter Emma on his own. Life in Chicago was far from easy for him. Every morning before sunrise, he prepared Emma for school, packed her lunch, and rushed to his first job. After finishing one shift, he immediately headed to another. Despite the exhaustion, he never complained because everything he did was for his daughter. Emma was the center of his world, and her smile gave him the strength to keep moving forward. Although money was always tight, David taught her the importance of kindness, honesty, and hard work. He believed that character mattered more than wealth, even when life seemed unfair. One cold evening, David was working a temporary delivery job for a large corporate company located in one of Chicago's most impressive skyscrapers. The building was known for housing some of the city's most successful businesses, and David felt out of place among the expensive suites and luxury offices. His task was simple: deliver several important documents to different departments before the end of the day. After hours of walking through the massive building, he felt tired and desperately needed to find a restroom before returning home to Emma. While following directions given by a security guard, David accidentally entered a restricted executive floor. The area was much quieter than the rest of the building, with elegant decorations and private offices stretching down a long hallway. Realizing he might be in the wrong place, he turned to leave. At that exact moment, a nearby office door opened. David glanced up and was immediately shocked. Inside stood Victoria Hayes, the company's young CEO, who had just finished a late-night meeting and was changing her jacket before heading out. The unexpected sight lasted only a second. David instantly looked away and raised his hands in embarrassment. "I'm so sorry," he said quickly. "I took a wrong turn. I didn't mean to come up here." His face turned red as he stepped backward toward the hallway. Many people in his position might have panicked or tried to make excuses, but David's reaction was sincere and respectful. He simply wanted to leave without causing any trouble. Victoria paused for a moment, surprised by his honesty. Most people she encountered in the corporate world were focused on impressing others or advancing their own interests. David was different. His apology was genuine, and there was no hint of arrogance or dishonesty in his voice. As he walked away, Victoria found herself curious about the hard-working stranger. Neither of them realized that this brief and awkward encounter would soon become the beginning of a life-changing story. That night, David returned home, believing the embarrassing incident was behind him. He picked up Emma from his neighbor's apartment, helped her finish her homework, and prepared a simple dinner. As they ate together, Emma excitedly talked about her school day, while David listened with a smile. He never mentioned what had happened at the corporate building because he considered it an insignificant mistake. Like every other evening, he tucked Emma into bed, checked that her school clothes were ready for the morning, and then sat at the kitchen table reviewing unpaid bills. The numbers were discouraging. Despite working long hours, he was barely keeping up with expenses. The next morning began like any other. David dropped Emma off at school and headed to work. Around mid-morning, his phone rang from an unfamiliar number. Expecting another delivery assignment, he answered casually. To his surprise, the caller introduced herself as an assistant from Victoria Hayes' office. David immediately felt nervous, assuming the company was calling about the previous evening's misunderstanding. Instead, the assistant politely informed him that Victoria wanted to meet him later that day. Confused but curious, David agreed. When he arrived at the company headquarters, he was escorted to an executive conference room. A few minutes later, Victoria entered and greeted him warmly. She explained that after their brief encounter, she had been impressed by the way he handled the situation. His honesty stood out in a world where many people often chose convenience over integrity. Curious about him, she had asked her team to learn more about his background. What she discovered impressed her even more. She learned about the sacrifices he made as a single father. his strong work ethic, and the respect he had earned from former employers. Victoria explained that her company was expanding and needed someone to help manage operations for a new division. Although David lacked a prestigious corporate resume, she believed leadership was about character, responsibility, and the ability to inspire trust. She offered him an opportunity to interview for the position. David was stunned. No one had ever looked beyond his job titles to recognize his potential. He accepted the challenge and spent the next several days preparing. The interview process confirmed what Victoria already suspected. David possessed excellent problem-solving skills, natural leadership qualities, and a calm, dependable personality. Within weeks, he was officially hired. The new position provided financial stability he had never imagined. For the first time in years, he no longer worried about overdue bills or unexpected expenses. Emma was able to join activities she had always dreamed of trying, and their small apartment was eventually replaced with a comfortable home. As the months passed, David often reflected on how quickly life could change. A simple accident, handled with honesty and respect, had opened a door that transformed his future. More importantly, it proved something he had always taught Emma. True success begins with character. Wealth, status, and opportunity may come and go, but integrity has the power to create possibilities where none seem to exist.